Hey guys, welcome back to Soccerholics TV. It's Ben here. Unfortunately, this week we can't watch any football from the Premier League or any leagues across Europe as it is UEFA Nations League taking place and also international friendlies. So I thought it would be a great time to talk about something that's been on my mind for a long time, and that is the Paul Pogba and Man United situation. Now, I've been pretty quiet up until now, but I've been following the news, and ever since the fallout happened, I've been really angry as a fan because I think the game has completely changed. What happened when we saw them falling out where TV covered it, we've never seen that before up until now in the 21st century. And that just shows you how sometimes unprofessional players are and also managers and how they deal with it in front of the media. Now, if I can just take you back to a date here, the 8th of August 2016 was when Paul Pogba transferred from Juventus to Man United for a record then fee, it's been broken now, of from around £100 million. Since then, he's made 65 appearances and 13 goals to date. Now, you know, I'll be honest, I didn't really hear of Paul Pogba before Man United, even though when he was there originally, but I can honestly say that he is not a great player, not by any means. And I've been hearing people, you know, always put his name in the same context as Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and I just don't understand how they come to that point. We're talking about someone who, it seems, that loves being on Instagram more than he loves being a professional football player. And you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, as you can see, but you know, I respect the game and I respect players. And you know, we love this game because of the players on the pitch. You know, there's 6-year-olds and 13-year-olds that look up to these players and say, God, I really like that player. I wish I could be like him or her, and I want to play like them someday. And unfortunately, we have someone like Paul Pogba who is just always in the media for the wrong reasons. Now, we look at the defeat that happened at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup against Derby on penalties. Everyone was really angry at that. But what set it off was Paul Pogba was caught Instagramming him laughing. Because of that, the next day, there was this whole media breakout during training at Man U's HQ. And that's when we saw, the whole world saw, all the media saw, the fallout between Mourinho and Pogba. Now, personally, you know, this should not even be out because this is a closed doors thing. You know, we as the fans should not be seeing a manager falling out with the player at all because that's just not professional. They're paid to play a game of football, soccer, that we love, that I love. I love talking about it. That's why I do this show. I love going to places where you get to interview fans who have love of the game. And for someone like Paul Pogba, for me personally, I think he's taken that love out of the game just a little bit. You know, he's someone that obviously can't live up to what it sounds like. He obviously can't live up to the hype of having that transfer tag attached to him. And you know, I can understand being in his corner. You know, it's hard to live up to that hype. But if he could only just try better and just play better on the pitch, you know, I mean, he seems to have done it well with France. He won the World Cup, but you know, he's paid by the club of Manchester to play for Manchester United. And the fans are expecting him week in, week out to perform as a superstar and as a professional football player. And he just hasn't done that. And I'm sure there's Man United fans out there that will agree with me that he just needs to concentrate on becoming a better player. Now as for Mourinho, I kind of, you know, I've voiced my concerns regarding Mourinho before. You know, I don't like him. I think he's quite an arrogant person. But I'm actually going to be on his side for this because I can understand why he was angry, because he saw a video and he saw Pogba laughing. Now, obviously, he wasn't laughing at the defeat against Derby, but he should know better to not kind of post that at a time when your team has just lost. And, you know, there's been reports saying that Mourinho has kind of lost his mojo. He's not the special one anymore. And it shows, like his run of results has not been good. But I don't think he's the person to blame. And this is what I hate about the game, where a manager will get sacked because the team doesn't do well. It's the players on the pitch that get paid a shit lot of money, because let's be honest, it's a lot of money that I don't earn, probably you don't earn out there, to play a game of 90 minutes, to be their best. And if they're not performing well, then everyone looks at the manager and go, well, why is the club not doing well? You know, it's your fault. You know, you're on the sidelines, you're directing, directions. For me, that's not how it should work. The players should take responsibility for their actions. And when you've got someone like Paul Pogba, and I'd like to say, a former player of Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, getting paid way, way too much money, and they have not performed at all. And it's pretty shocking for a club of Manchester United, one of the biggest brand names in the world, let alone the biggest football club in the world, for them to be struggling right now is pretty bad. Luckily they won at home against Newcastle. They were 2-0 down and then they came back and won 3-2. Quite miraculous, I think. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be pretty angry at that. But, they got away with a win. But let's be honest, what we're seeing in today's game is completely changed. For me as a guy that's loved the game for such a long time, you've got Instagram, you've got people's egos, you've got salaries, you've got who's got the best sports car. And for me personally, I just think it's taking so much out of the game and it shouldn't be like that. It wasn't for me when I was young. So I just wish it would change. And I hope that Mourinho stays in the job because, he's a good coach, and I think his players needs to back him up. But I think what we're seeing here is a place like Man United, there's so many egos on that team. You've got Lukaku, you've got Sanchez, Rashford's probably going to have that in a bit because he's so young. Pogba, obviously. You've got so many players there that he has to control, but even if he can't control, the players should know that they need to show respect to the manager that they play for. And that brings it to another point. I love when they say that the players aren't going to play for the manager anymore. That is wrong. You don't play for the manager, you play for yourself. You play for your name because that's the name that has been spread amongst newspapers and media for giving you the hype and the popularity for kids to look up to you to become you. So when I hear that when they say people play for the manager, no, you shouldn't play for the manager or you should not play for the manager. You should be playing 110% each and every week because that's the minimum that you should give based on what your salary you'll be being paid. And at the end of the day, we play this game because that's what it's all about. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. Any Man United fans watching, tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Are you for Pogba? Are you against? Do you think Mourinho will last in the job? Let us know. Until next time, this is Ben saying thanks for watching Soccerholics TV. And don't forget, next week, we're going to be at the West Ham pub, our first time there for their London derby at home to Tottenham. Thanks for watching, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you soon.